Emily's known for her trendy nail looks. She's been a big fan of Heyhae products for a while now, and we've actually done two design collections with her so far. So, Emily, we're really happy to have you here today, and we'd love if you could introduce yourself.
Yeah, thank you everyone for joining. Like Audrey said, my name is Emily Zheng, also known as By Shay Nails, and I've been creating nail content on the internet probably since 2020. So it was very much started as a pandemic hobby and kind of grew into something bigger than that now. As we'll dive into later today, as we do our nail art and a chit chat together. So yeah, I'm very excited to be doing this, and I am calling in from Seattle, Washington. And I already have my base prep, so I wanted to go over what I use for the base. But before we start, we're actually creating a look inspired by Hey Let Love Bloom, which is one of the designs that I made for my bridal collection. So that is the nail look that we're doing today. And if you are interested in following along, apply your base now. And I wanted to walk through a couple of things that I use for prep before we go into painting the first layer of polish. So I love using these like glass cuticle pushers and glass nail files. And what I really like is that they are, I think, a lot more gentle than like what you would typically think of with the emery boards and such. And they are really fast as well because you're able to file our nails in way less time and also be more gentle. So I think it's like a win-win. And then I use this like pink tinted nail polish base from Hall Taco. It's called Pink Smoothing Base, which is nice because it's like a rich filler and also, oh, sorry, also gives you more like a sheer pink complexion. So that's the nail care. And so now we're going to start off first with the sheer base. So there are a lot of really great ones out there on the market. So right now I really love Orly's rose colored glasses. I've been using this a lot of many years, so I always keep coming back to it, but it really depends on your skin tone also and how opaque you want it to be. So I'm going to start painting that first base because in the in the example of like the design, we're using a sheer base, which I think is really nice and flattering for everyone, really. So getting started with painting this. And I feel like for sheer polishes, they are generally pretty forgiving, but you don't want to go over the polish like too often. So try to like limit the number of brush strokes that you're doing. Also, what helps is floating your polish brush a little bit. So instead of digging your polish into your nail as you're trying to maintain some coverage. I really think like floating, especially for sheer polishes, is super helpful. That way you just get like more even coverage as opposed to some patchiness. So we're doing that. And then hopefully I'm covering the sides. The thing with like filming and doing your nails is you can't see the full nail, which is why a lot of the times in my nail videos you'll mainly see my thumb. So that's like one half to just like make my life a little bit easier, but so you're getting the full unabridged version right now. So all right, we're almost done. And I'm only doing one hand today since I'm talking and painting. So hopefully, if you're following along, we won't be going too fast for you since we're also going to take some breaks for some Q&A. All right, so we got the base layer done. So we can let it dry for for like a minute or so. So I think Audrey, you prepared some questions.
Yes, we have some questions for you, Emily, just to understand more about your nail creator journey and your tips and tricks as a content creator and a nail artist. So the first one I have for you is where do you usually find inspiration for your designs? And are you inspired by fashion, social media, art, or your everyday life?
Yeah, I think honestly, like inspiration is everywhere. So the short answer would be like all of the above. But it's just like I feel like being able to organize all your inspiration is the hard part, right? So when I find something on social media that I really like, I love organizing them into like saved folders on Instagram based on different seasons. And when I see things in real life, whether it's cool packaging, or maybe a beautiful flower at a botanical garden, or maybe even a cute sweater, right? Like, I think saving them into folders in your photo album is nice because if you're ever waiting or trying to figure out what to do next and you're not really sure what color combos would work or what design you want to do, you can always like look back onto those folders. So I just love collecting inspo from everywhere because even the most random things like a soda can could really provide really great inspo.
Ooh, I like that like everyday life also inspires you. Usually for myself, I don't know if everyone else agrees, but I'm more like a social media inspo type of person. So I find a lot of the trends on like TikTok or Pinterest. But I really like how you just go about finding like the textures, the color palette in your everyday life. That's really cool.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun, especially if you want to like match to something. Like I did a look that like a gradient that matched my Labubu because they were doing those like gradient Labubus, like things like that that are just fun and easy to do.
Cool. But I'll move on to the next question for you, Emily. Was there a specific moment when you realized this could become more than just a hobby?
Oh, um, let's see. It's tough to pick one moment. I guess when I first started getting paid, but it's hard to really pick one moment because like a video might go viral and it would cause you to like grow a lot of followers. But for my account personally, it hasn't been like one video like made or broke my account, right? It was more like a I had to have be really consistent and like post a lot and hopefully like have a few viral videos like every year, right, in order to really like get to where my account is right now. But it was always like a possibility in the back of my mind because one reason why I even really got into nail art was simply Nailogical on YouTube, an icon and the brains behind Holo Taco, and she is where I learned a lot of the basics, right? And I got inspired to do like gradients and all these things. So it was very cool to see someone that had like a data real job do nail art and make a second career out of it. So I thought that was always very cool. And I didn't know necessarily that it would happen for me, but I am very grateful that it has. And yeah, it's really cool that creators like Christine from Simply Nailogical really like paved the way for that.
Yeah, I think it's really cool to see your account grow and, just like your content creation style change as well, Emily. Like we've known you as a creator for maybe over a year now. So I think it's really fun to see how you pursue your passions like outside of your everyday life too. It's really amazing, honestly.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I think that's the most important part, right? If you're spending so much time doing something.
We were going to ask you, what do you think was your biggest turning point in your creator journey?
I yeah, I think I'm trying to think about something that I didn't touch upon earlier, but I think it may be somewhat tangential, but I think being willing to like really invest in yourself, and whether it's like upgrading your phone or like getting new lights and things like that, I think um really investing in yourself and becoming better and trying to learn and just improve like consistently, like you mentioned. Like I feel like my content from like 3 years ago isn't the same as it is like nowadays, and I'm always striving to like get better. So I think not necessarily like a turning point, but I think just having that mindset has really been helpful because I'm always trying to think like, oh, what could be better, and it's like a fun challenge as well.
Yeah, definitely. I remember in our RSVP signups, a lot of people were just asking for your content creation tips, especially as like a small creator to trying to
Mhm.
grow. So it would be great if you could share kind of like your best tips.
Yeah, for sure. And I'll answer that as I'm doing like starting the flowers since I want to make sure we're good on time. So
Yeah.
if you're following along at home, please take out your like white nail polish and also like a dotting tool. Depending on the size, you can do like larger or smaller. So I'm doing kind of like a smaller one. So yeah, and then so let me like quickly intro this and then I'll talk about like my like content creation tips, right? That was a question. All right, so for the dots, it's going to be a little tough to do on camera, so bear with me if they aren't all even. So what I actually like to do, like I know some people like using putting blobs of paint onto their like a piece of foil or like a glass plate, but I honestly like to just dip straight from the brush because I feel like it's less wasteful. Because a lot of the paint will just like dry up if you like blob it onto a piece of foil and stuff, which is totally fine, but this way I feel like it's always like super fresh. Okay, so on the thumb, we're going to first do like a flower. So I'm just gonna go on like the side maybe. So I'm gonna go like here, 2, 3. Oh, that one was a little bit too close. And I usually do 2 to 3 dots before I like reload basically because you don't want the paint to start getting like stringy um, because that is like very easy to do with the dotting tool. And then so typically I'll like dip it in acetone and then clean it up here. So yeah, I dipped it in acetone, clean it up, and then I'm going to go over it again to make sure the flower is more centered like that. And then we're just gonna fill the middle and everything like that because we're going to put gold in the middle later. So let me just try to even this out. Perfect. Good enough. And then we will move on to the other ones. Okay, so in terms of like content creation tips, I think what is like most useful is to have a sustainable process. Because, for example, I film everything on my phone and I edit on my phone, which you would think like, okay, like maybe I should get a camera and such, which is totally fine if that's like up your alley. But for me, because there is so much volume and also I have a day job, it's just a lot of like time commitment, right? So being able to film on your phone and edit on your phone has been like really what is sustainable for me. So there's that. And then also, I think being consistent is really, really important when you're posting because if someone's following you, they likely like your content and they will hopefully want to see more of your content. And if you aren't posting as regularly, I feel like that is honestly just like tougher to grow as a creator. So I have been posting about 3 times a week since 2020. So it's been like 6 years. And that includes like the multiple times that I've got COVID. Like it includes like long vacations where I would like work ahead. And then in order to like have content to post. And so on. So I think just being consistent, even if that's once a week for you, if that's 5 times a week for you, like find something that's sustainable that you can do and like keep to that schedule. I think that's also extremely important. And also just having fun and like really enjoying like what you are doing is really translates in what content you're creating. Because if this feels like a chore, like this isn't like your day job for I think everyone here, right? So like you don't have to be doing this. And if you're feeling like, oh, like I have to do another video and this is like not what I want to do, like then maybe find another niche. But yeah, like if nail art is something that you're really passionate about, then I think you're on the right track. And of course, you know, there is like burnout, right? Like with doing things that you like. So I'm not necessarily saying like you can't get burned out. That's not true. But I think that's like really at the heart of it, like really enjoying like what type of content you're making, I think will really translate and and that way you will make a lot more fun content, and people will also like enjoy it as well. So hopefully that answers like the question that you had, Audrey.
No, definitely. I think passion, consistency, those are like the core that you need for, becoming and growing your like platform as a content creator. So I hope that inspires everyone, who wants to continue doing that, and growing their platform too. I had a follow-up question for you, Emily. You
Hmm.
said something about burnout, right? Like, do you deal with creative burnout often? How do you like reset that for yourself? Or, when you take breaks, how do you kind of find the inspiration again to start?
Like doing nails like so often, like I think it's inevitable to like feel creative burnout. And I think what I try to do is like if I had like a very like busy week where I made like 10 videos or something like that, then I would like very consciously say, okay, like this weekend I'm just going to take a break. Like I'm not going to do any nails and just live my like non-virtual, like non-nail painting life. So I think this is also applicable like not for nails, like if you're feeling burnt out in general. I think being very consciously saying like today is a break day where I will allow myself the time to just sit on the couch and like watch reality TV. I think being more conscious about that and making that choice instead of beating yourself up afterwards for not being productive, I think it's just like a mindset shift that has been really helpful just in general. So I definitely live by that. And then yeah, so I would say that's like the main thing about like burnout, but also being able to like look back on those like inspirations that like we kind of talked about earlier. Like having all of your inspo kind of just like saved and organized just like makes it a lot easier when you're like, okay, like I want to create a fun summer look that isn't basic. Let me think about what things that I found really interesting online and then figure out your own take on it. So I think that also helps a lot. Awesome. And I just put like flowers kind of like scattered all over. Trying I like a little bit of like a mix and match look so they're not all like uniform. So you can choose to add as many flowers as you want or not. So this is what I decided to do. Great. Let me introduce the like green polish the leaves process, and then you can ask your next question, Audrey, while we're doing that. But yeah, so now let's paint some of the leaves, and we have a bunch of different like leaf designs, right? Um, so we're gonna do a couple of them with the stems, a couple of them without. Um, so I decided to use this kind of like muted like moss green. This is called touch grass, which is really funny because I was just talking about living my like non-online life. Okay, so I also have this detail brush, which is very thin, which I love. So if you are doing nail art and you like need at least one brush, I would recommend something like this, where it's just really tiny, so you can really get all the details. And one tip that I have for saturating a brush is, again, I like to dip directly into the polish, and I really try to saturate the entire brush as opposed to just like doing one side and kind of wiping off the excess. So that way it's more like evenly loaded. Oops, if you can see here, it's more evenly loaded. And that way you can have more control over your brush. Yeah, so let's say I want to do like a leaf here. So I think what's helpful is to do kind of like a parentheses, like two parentheses here. and then to like fill in the middle. So I try to always like outline the shape and then fill in the middle. Um, so like that, just filling it in here so it's more opaque. Yeah, and I feel like using more like opaque nail polishes makes life so much easier when you're doing nail art because you don't want to like be doing all this detail work and then have to do it again. Because that's just too hard sometimes. So I just use a little stem to connect that there. And then I'm gonna do one more here maybe. So I'm just doing like a parentheses, another parentheses, kind of fill that in there. And yeah, I'm like reloading the brush like pretty often, just because you want like fresh polish. If you're using gel, this is not as applicable, but I actually prefer using regular polish for nail art because I think it adds like a fun extra challenge. So yeah, and then I'm gonna add maybe like one more leaf up on the top and then I'll pass it to Audrey. So okay, so yeah, I'm gonna do one more like up here just to add some more balance. Just two parentheses. Like that. So you can kind of see it taking shape right now. Okay, great. So I'll pass it off to Audrey while I do the other nails.
Ooh, it looks so nice, Emily. I really like this
Thanks.
green color. I kind of wanted to backtrack how we were just talking about how you get your inspiration from your everyday, right? I wanted to backtrack and then just kind of mention that this design was part of your wedding collection, right? The
Mm-hmm.
bridal collection that we had. So I wanted to ask you a little bit more about like what your inspiration was for this design and why you really liked this, cute, simple floral look.
Yeah, so what's really special about this design is actually I designed it for my friend's wedding a couple years ago. And then when you guys reached out about and we decided to collaborate on like a wedding collection, I was like, this would be perfect. So basically, my friend who got married did a garden wedding, and I wanted to capture basically, floral garden vibes. And then she also had a really like senior dog named Daisy, and I thought it would be perfect to kind of mix like the daisy flowers with the garden vibe. And that was like the initial inspiration for this design. Like it's adapted since the one that we she had at her wedding, but it's just nice, like such a like a nice memory like attached to it. And now she has like another dog and like a baby now. So it's crazy how fast time flies. But yeah, that was the original inspiration for this. So it was nice that we were kind of twinning in our weddings.
No, it's so cute. I really like the heartfelt kind of like message that I had no idea about for this design too. So super cute.
Yeah, isn't it a fun fact?
Yeah. Okay, let's see. Next question. Actually, there were some questions in the chat. Um, Ember asked, "How do you take care of your cuticles?"
Oh, so for cuticles, let's see. So I use the glass cuticle pusher probably like once a week. And I feel like I don't actually like cut my cuticles, so I've never had to do that. And if you're just getting started, I think being using the glass cuticle pusher like regularly, kind of you don't need to use cuticle nippers anymore. So that's really nice because honestly, I'm kind of scared of doing it because I'm not a licensed nail tech, so I don't want to like start bleeding or anything. I don't know what to do about that. So yeah, I do that, and then also I think like after you shower, I also sometimes will just like push back my cuticles with my nails. That also just kind of helps like keep them looking nice and fresh when I am kind of in between. Also, cuticle oil, really, really important, because I usually probably like 2 times a day. I feel like I should be using it even more, but sometimes, I have an office job, so I have to type. I don't want oil all over my keyboard. So it is what it is. But I try to use cuticle oil as much as I can because it is just so helpful in keeping them looking hydrated and also keeping your nails like happy and healthy and hopefully less prone to breaking. So yeah, that's those are my top cuticle tips.
I definitely need to try the glass cuticle pusher. I've never used that before, but I also have like fear too of cutting my cuticles, so it's definitely something I want to try.
Yeah, yeah. Let me know what you think after you try it.
Yeah. I had a follow-up question. This one's for me. Do you have recommendations for like best nail tools? Like you're using this thin brush, you're using a dotting tool, like what?
Yeah, this one's from Sir Colors. Orally also has one as well. And they're both like pretty good, pretty comparable. So glass nail files, I feel like this Twinkle Tea one I had when I like first started doing nails. So it's still going strong. I also have one from Butter London that's really good. And I feel like for glass files, you have to be really careful when you're like buying them because a lot of the time like if you're looking at like some random listings online, they might like spray an etching onto a glass file, which is not the same thing as ones where like the whole thing is etched. So this is like a check type of like glass. So I've been using this for like 6 years and it's still good. And that's because it isn't like a glass like etching spray on it. It's like the whole thing is like a file. So yeah, those are some of my recommendations. And then cleanup brushes, like it can be as cheap as like $2. You can use like an elf like concealer brush. I know that's really popular. Also like Twinkle Tea Hall Taco, those are really great as well. So yeah, I feel like there are a lot of like really great brands. And happy to chat specifics as well if you had questions about like a specific type of tool or brush or such.
Oh yeah, that's definitely good to know about like the etching spray. I had no idea, but that will be something I'll keep note of when I
Yeah, they're not all created equal, so
yeah,
that's why some are more expensive.
I see. Got it. Okay, next question. I think Sky from our team, she asked, "What's your favorite part about being a creator and what's one thing that motivates you to keep going?"
Ooh, I mean, honestly, like I love creating so much because it's like a creative outlet for me, right? Like growing up, I did a lot of like classical music, and like I was like a semi-professional like flutist, so new lore unlocked. And then when I started working in my day job, I was in finance, and I just felt like the job was very interesting, but it was not very creative. And having spent so much of my life being like creative and like doing competitions and everything like that, it felt like something was missing. So that is initially why I got into nail art. I also got into doing my own nails because I wanted to save money. So both things went hand in hand, but it was like two birds with one stone, and it was something that I really enjoyed. So yeah, I think just having this outlet to just like work a different part of my brain, I think is really fun. It's also been super nice to just like be a part of the creator community. Like the nail community is so nice. Everyone is amazing. Yeah, I've met like a lot of people in person, like whether it's like New York or all the way in Hong Kong. Like it's wild to see how small the world is when you are connected online. So yeah, it's been really lovely to meet people in person. The I think the Seattle nail community isn't like super big, which is unfortunate, but I do love meeting people when they're in town and such as well. So yeah, I think that's also a lot of fun. And honestly, like I think it's just like probably spend a lot of time on reels like everyone else here, and it's nice to also just be like contributing as well instead of just being a consumer. So it's always fun to see like, oh, like what's like, I don't necessarily do like trending, like I'm not doing dance trends or anything, but it's like fun to see like how people kind of view like what kind of like takes off, and then thinking about like, oh, this is really interesting that this took off and like why that is. I've always found that like super interesting with like social media in general.
Definitely. Like, I think the creative outlet that you said earlier is kind of what keeps me in the community. And the nail community is so fun for sure.
Yes.
So many like fun trends going around and so many trending designs that we see from the nail community, but also like on celebrities too.
Hmm.
So it's so much fun. I think
Yeah.
it would push me as well to keep going. Before we switch over, I wanted to let you like chime in on your process as well, Emily.
Yes. Sounds good. Okay, so we have the leaves done. As you see, I just kind of did a mix of different designs again with this mix and match theme. And then now we're gonna do the like gold accents. So if you have like gold foil, that works. If you have like a gold topper, that's fine. If you want to use yellow, that's okay too, or charms. Really up to you. I'm using this like limited edition, like real gold from Sir Colors. I rarely use this, only special occasions. So you guys are the lucky ones. And then yeah, so what I'm going to do is just like add a couple accents. So we're going to use this in the middle of each flower as well as like scattered throughout a little bit. So I'm not going to like paint this on. I'm just going to like pick up little pieces. I'm actually going to use a little brush here just to like pick up the pieces. So yeah, we have this little like gold dot, and then I'm going to just put it here like in the middle, kind of, hopefully it will stick down. Okay, great. Love that. And it doesn't have to be perfectly in the middle either. I like kind of the organic look as well. So down here, I'm gonna put that in the middle and just kind of flatten it out since it's a little bit bunched up from being in the polish. So yeah, that looks like a flower. Um, all right. And then Audrey, did you have another question?
Yes, I was actually gonna pass it over to Sarah. She had some questions for you.
Perfect.
So the next question is, what's your typical workflow from filming to like posting and the time frame, and like what apps do you usually prefer, or like editing tools do you use like the most often?
Yeah. So filming typically takes me, let's say like probably like an hour to 2 hours, depending on how complicated the look is. But honestly, like preps will take me like an hour if I need to like file my nails, do my cuticles and such. Like I really try to take time to do that correctly. Because like shaping almond nails can be tough, because they have to really be balanced. And then so again, I like film everything on my phone. And then from there, for editing, I used to use like a different app, but now I just use the Edits app on Instagram. So it's completely free, and it's gotten a lot better since they initially launched it, so that's good. And what I like about it is that you can do all your cuts. You can also like add music and like sync to it if you want, which is very easy. So yeah, I use the Edits app for videos. And then for my photos I use Snapseed, which is owned by Google. And it's a pretty like powerful free app where you can just kind of adjust the brightness. You can like highlight certain parts of your photo and like adjust the brightness or the saturation and such. Because it is a bit of a struggle sometimes if a color isn't showing like very accurately on camera. So I think having something to make sure it actually looks like what it looks like in real life is very helpful. So yeah, those are a couple of the apps that I use. Pretty like simple, like I said, trying to just make it efficient. But yeah, editing a video will probably take like 30 minutes to an hour. Like it depends on like how long it is, but sometimes like I get into a flow state and it'll be like faster, but it really depends on getting all the everything like aligned. I think that's the hardest part because I try to put my hand in the same place, but it will move around, and so getting everything aligned is pretty tough.
Thank you for sharing that. The other question I have is it's kind of two questions as well, just like the last one. They go hand in hand. I wanted to know, since you mentioned edits, I have seen people talk about using that specifically and then posting to Instagram, like straight from the edits app, has like helped boost their content. I wanted to know if
Hmm.
you like had that same experience or if you notice a difference versus just like exporting the video and then posting it yourself. And then to add on to the question, what are your best tips for like a viral post?
Interesting. Okay. So I have been like exporting directly just because I guess it's like easy to do. I don't know if it's made a huge difference. Honestly, like algorithm hacking is tough to keep up with, and I try my best, but I honestly sometimes will just like do what I do because it's hard to predict what will go viral. But yeah, I do that, but I'm not sure if it's affected engagement as that much. But if it works for other people, I love that. Um, but yes, in terms of like making a viral post, um, it's like I alluded a little bit earlier, it is tough to see what would be viral, but I think what is most important is that like sometimes I will like finish a nail look or nail video and think like, this isn't like what I thought it would be, or it's not exactly my vision, but I guess I spent a lot of hours on it, so I might as well post it. And then like, it gets like millions of views and I'm like, oh, great. I'm glad people liked it, even though I was like unsure about it. And then other times, I would labor like I would do like the most detailed like nail art look that takes forever, and I'm like, okay, people really love this, and then like it doesn't happen, which is very funny how that works. But like that is kind of just part of posting videos online. So I would say like even if you're unsatisfied with certain drafts, just like keep posting. And also try to see like in terms of like the viral videos that like you see that you're interested in, like what are they doing that brings you in as a viewer. So like I think I like to add like a little bit of a hook in the beginning that like previews like what my nail look looks like. So I think that's helpful so people can be like, okay, like I am interested in how this look is created. So then I'll watch the rest of the video, or adding text to kind of describe what you're going for. So I think that's also very helpful to give some general direction. Maybe like doing like faster cuts, or not having it like be a 2 minute long video when it could be like 20 seconds, like like things like that might be helpful as well. But also there's always exceptions of people that don't do that and also get very viral, like Emily Mariko, for example, like doesn't talk in her videos, but like she went very viral when like a lot of times you would expect people to talk in order to go viral, right? So yeah, definitely like keep on experimenting and then just post everything that you make, and then you never know what will happen.
Yeah, I have heard a lot about that actually, which it's interesting to hear that you said it also works for you. I've seen a lot of people be very like I guess doubtful when they're creating content sometimes and they don't want to go through with posting it and then they do, and those are always it's always the videos that you don't expect to do well that usually do well. Yeah, I've seen people share that experience a lot.
Yeah, it's very funny, but it's great when it happens. Yeah, and then I'm going to introduce the next steps. So the next steps are top coats, and I'm using two different types of top coat. If you only have one, that's totally fine. But I love using like a smudge-free top coat and a glossy top coat. The smudge-free top coat is also known as like a water-based top coat. And the intention behind that for regular polish is that, you know, you spend all this time like creating this design, and then sometimes when you put on the top coat, you're like, oh my gosh, it's streaking. And why that happens is because the composition of the top coat is similar or like the same as like nail polish, right? So when this wet top coat interacts with the semi-dry nail polish on your nail, then the nail polish kind of wets again. And then that's why you can see those streaks, because the brush might like touch it and then it will streak. So even like some of the best nail polish top coats will do that. And so that's why I like to have that security of having both. So this one is like water based. So because it's water based, it doesn't like re-wet the polish. And then it like kind of adds a layer, and then I'll add this on top of it because this is not protective. If you just leave it on its own, it will probably just like peel off later. So the combo is what you need. So I'm gonna apply this, and then Audrey, did you have another question?
Yes, I was so intrigued with this smudge-free taco. I've never heard of it before, so
Oh yeah, the smudge-free top coat, yeah.
yeah, very cool trick. But yes, I had a final question for you before we kind of open up the floor to everyone watching and see if they have any other questions. But this question is, if someone here is just starting their creator journey today, what would be your biggest piece of advice?
Ooh, let's see. Whether it's like nail or like other content, I think just trying to experiment as much as you can, I think is great, especially in the beginning because you don't really know what's going to resonate. Like you're really building your audience, and this is like the time for you to just like try anything and everything. And actually, this is like unrelated to nails, but I have like a third account that where I'm doing like Seattle like videos because I just like dilly-dallying around the city, and I'm already like doing this in my free time. So I was like, oh, like why don't I just like make some videos about like the restaurants I like and like the fun things that I have planned because I'm already doing them anyway and I love making videos. Um, so I've been like actively working on that for maybe like 2 weeks. But it's been a lot of fun because I can see a lot of the a lot of the videos have like gone like very well received, which is great, and I feel like I'm providing value. But yeah, like I'm really experimenting. I'm doing a little bit of everything, right? Like I'm doing like activities, like food, like funny jokes, and just kind of like seeing what works. So yeah, I think like if you're just starting right now, like this is the time to really just the world is your oyster, and you never know what's going to like take off. And from there, just keep on always experimenting, because and always learning and trying to be better, because that is like a forever journey.
I hope that we all can feel like inspired by you, Emily, for sure. And just be like more confident with our presence online and sharing with the community that we all love.
For sure, for sure.
For anyone watching, if you have any questions for Emily or any questions about nail artistry, we would love to hear from you.
Yeah, don't be shy. And as everyone's working on that, I'm just applying the glossy top coat over here. And I need to clean up over here with my cleanup brush.
I had a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm curious, for this design that you did for Heyhae, did you do it on your nails first and then like a digital art?
So I created this digitally, but I think like what is like if you're not sure what will translate well on nails, I would highly recommend doing it on nails like first if you want to do a design like this, because but I feel like because I have been doing like nails for so long, I was like, okay, like I can see what would be feasible, and also what will potentially like look good. But yeah, I think I definitely started with digital. Thanks for the question. And are you also like doing nail art?
Me, I'm
Yeah.
new to the affiliate program, but not painting. I do some detailed paintings, but mostly on shoes. So I
Ooh.
want to do some on nails now too.
Ooh, that's super cool. Match your nails to your shoes.
I always do. Yeah.
Oh, I love that. Iconic. That's awesome.
I have a question. Do you have any other hobbies?
Me? Do I have any other hobbies? Yes,
Around Seattle, like you mentioned.
Yes, I love having hobbies. I feel like I would be great at retirement because I would just be doing hobbies all the time. But that doesn't answer your question. So, yes, I really love reading. So I think I've read like 43 books year to date. And a lot of them have been like audiobooks because I like hobby stacking. So a lot of times I will be doing my nails and then like listening to audiobook or like watching like a show or something. And then also like I walk to work. So I will be able to, and I listen like 2x speed. So basically I can go through like 2 hours of an audiobook every day when I'm commuting. So yeah, reading's a really big one. I also love journaling. So journaling is a really great way, I feel like, to just kind of brain dump and just be able to like better reflect on like who you are and also just like keep the good memories as well. So I like to do something that's like more sustainable for me as well. So I'm not necessarily like doing a whole page, but rather the journal spread that I have is basically the 2 pages are 1 week. So then I'll write like a little box basically for the day, and that will be my journal of the day. So it only takes like a couple minutes, but it's a really great thing to do and like a daily ritual, which I love. I also like when I'm traveling, I did a junk journal for my honeymoon, which was a lot of fun. So I don't know if I'll do it for my day-to-day life because that seems like a big commitment, but it was so fun to do scrapbooking and things like that. And I also go to solid core, which is like Pilates. So that's what I do for my exercise, and otherwise just hanging out with friends and making videos and stuff. So yes, I love my hobbies.
I wanted to chime in and say, Julie asked, "What digital program did you use to create the designs?" And then, as part of the Heyhae team, I just wanted to chime in and say that Emily had sent us her design inspo, and then our team on the production side kind of vectorized the design, and we went back and forth to talk about the colors of the base of the flowers. We went and made minor edits, so I can't disclose what digital program we used, but it was probably some graphic design tool.
Yeah, and it was definitely like a good collaborative process because like obviously the Heyhae team knows what translates well onto nail strips as opposed to me knowing what will look good as like nail polish and stuff. So it was a really great experience working with them. But for me, I use Procreate, which I just use on my iPad with like an Apple Pencil. It's like very easy. So yeah, I feel like that is a nice like doodling tool if you want to plan out your nail art designs and such. But most of the time I just do it in my brain. But for this collaboration, I use Procreate.
And then I guess this is our final question from Brittany. She asked, "How do you balance content creation and having a full-time job?"
Oh, great. Hi, Brittany. Thanks for tuning in. No, we met each other in LA, I think last year, so that was a lot of fun. But yeah, I think it's tough, especially with like I'm in 5 days a week, and then I also like do nail art, and then I'm also on these random side quests. But I think what's nice is that like nail art is like taking a break from like my corporate job. And then so how I like to stack it is like, okay, I'm at work, right? And then once I come home, like I will alternate days between like when I work out and then when I do my nails, typically, unless like things are very busy. But like let's say Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I'm like working out. So then like I'll do my nails like Tuesday, Thursday, for example. And then also like I have a color coordinated Google Calendar. So I really know like what I need to do when, and then also like line up the inspo and such. So I can really like plan it out in advance. So I'm not sitting at my nail desk thinking like, what do I need to do? But rather I can just like sit down and execute. So yeah, I think like planning ahead and then also just like integrating that balance so then again I don't get burnt out, and having that balance I think is very important. But yeah, it is tough, but I think it's something that I'm like willing to do and I'm like happy to do. And I think you just have to like plan your days around that. So yeah, and I think like being able to like hobby stack and such also makes it feel even more fun because I'm like, okay, like I could just like watch TV or I can like watch TV and do my nails. So I usually end up doing that.
I know Brittany can't chat right now, but I think the work-life balance is something we all need as a goal.
Yeah, definitely. Always a work in progress, right?
Yeah. Okay, so last final words on your end, Emily. I know your look is done.
Yeah, so here's the final look. So thanks for like tuning along, and if you joined along, I would love to see your nail look. So feel free to DM me a picture. But yeah, I think it turned out pretty cute. And here's like the inspo next to it, so you can kind of see the inspiration and the interpretation of it from the live stream. And yeah, I think this was a ton of fun. And you can find me at by Shay Nails on Instagram and YouTube. I'm not very active on TikTok, but yeah, thank you so much for tuning in.
It looks so gorgeous. Thank you again, Emily, and thank you everyone for joining our Creator Labs. It was really nice to see familiar names and see your participation. So we hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial just as much as we loved hosting it. And we're going to be hosting more sessions like this throughout the rest of the year, so stay tuned to hear about our upcoming events. But yeah, that's it for Creator Labs. We hope you have an amazing rest of your day, everyone.
Thank you guys.